Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're watching this video from. It's Dr. Katie already. There is something for us to learn today. That is why I am here. Today we're going to be discussing healthy living with emphasis on taking care of the heart. I'll try as much as possible, like I've always promised, because it's not for the purpose of exam, to use simple words for easy understanding. You don't need a medical dictionary to be able to enjoy or understand these lectures, okay? Healthy living is the way of life of people that promotes and supports health. The way people live that promotes and supports health. And if you look at healthy living and the way people live, you must also look at lifestyle modification or lifestyle changes. It's the way people now decide to live different from the way they have been living in order to prevent disease, promote life, and support health. Okay? So, talking about healthy living. In living healthy, there are parts of our living that we need to look at. One, our diet, what we eat. Okay? What we eat can mar us or make us, can build us or destroy us. So you must know that nutrition or diet is a very important component of living. And when you talk about diet and nutrition, you must talk about the age of the individual that will be consuming it. For the purpose of this lecture, I'm not going to be looking at that of children, because I'm going to be discussing malnutrition as a topic of its own in a different presentation. So I'm not going to be talking about children, I'm going to be talking about adults. So we're going to be talking about restriction on what we eat because of our age, okay? So for adults who are older than 45 to 50 years, okay, healthy living, you must look at what you eat. What you should eat, more of fruits and vegetables. I was opportune to be talking to a congregation on healthy living, and I gave an illustration by saying that God gave fruits in durable plants compared to food in non-durable plants. What do I mean? If you look at oranges, if you look at mangoes, if you look at cashew, everything called fruits, they are in plants that are durable, plants that they bear fruit from season to season and they don't die. Or like when you look at plantain, you look at rice, you look at corn, you look at maize, every other thing, yam. They are something you plant. Immediately they bear fruit, they are dead. You need to plant them every year to harvest them. But the fruits are not like that. Once you plant them, they'll be there over years, 50, 60 years. You have a mango tree, you have a cherry tree, you have orange tree, being there over a long period of time. I told them that I think God has a reason why he made fruits in such a tenacity. Because he thinks it's something that should be with humanity in order to be healthy and stay well, okay, and prevent disease. So you must be one who likes fruits and vegetables, okay? If you are above 50, you don't need too much of food. One good meal a day is okay for you. One good meal a day. Every other thing should be fruits and vegetable. You should learn to snack on fruits and vegetable. Snack on fruits and vegetable, not junk. At this age, you should avoid, at that age I've told you should avoid processed drinks, processed food. You should avoid glucose drink. If you must take anything sweet or juicy, natural fruit juice is okay for you. Not these beverages. Let me not be talking about bringing down anybody's business. But what I want you to know, you know what it is when we say processed drinks. Okay, sugary drinks that are canned, that are bottled. You don't need them. You need natural fruits. Okay, make your pineapple, juice your pineapple. In fact, the fibers are also important. Even if you are juicing them in order to enjoy a sweet drink, make sure you eat the fibers too. Don't throw them away. They are good for your gut health. It will prevent a colonic cancer because you have a good gut health. Okay, when I mean gut health, the GIT, from the mouth to the anus, is the gastrointestinal tract that God has given to man to be able to take your food, break it down, and then you excrete the waste product as feces. That area is called gut, that part. And that part is healthy when you give it plenty of fibers, okay? So that is why processed food is not good for you. Plenty of sugar is not good for you. Plenty of salt is also not good, okay? So you must be modest in terms of salt consumption. Plenty of salt will put you at risk of hypertension. Plenty of sugar, okay, put you at risk of obesity, and even at risk of diabetes mellitus. So you must be careful what you eat, and you must be deliberate. Eat quality instead of quantity, okay? Don't go pack junk and consume them, and then you'll be looking for how to burn them. So after diet, what other components of life will help us live healthy? Exercise. You must have a routine exercise plan if you must stay healthy. When you stop being mobile, if you stop moving around, then you have decided to be sick, okay? If you don't want to stay healthy, then stay in one place. If you want to stay healthy, then be mobile, move around. It is said that when you are not able to achieve up to about 4,000 steps a day, you are living a sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle will promote disease, will support disease, will support obesity. And obesity is a risk factor for most of the comorbidities that we know. So in order to stay healthy, you must have a routine exercise. So some people will say, what does it take to have a routine exercise? At least you must trek about 3 to 4 times every week, and then you will say you have a routine exercise. Let's assume you have not been exercising before. Don't go and start exercising rigorously in one day. You must start small, okay? Start from a walk of 5 minutes or a walk of 5 to 10 minutes, then progress to 20, 30 minutes until you are not able to do about 45 to 1 hour each time you walk, whether around your estate or around anywhere in your environment, okay? Taking note of security and ensuring that you are safe in the environment where you are taking the walk, all right? So when you are able to now walk at that time, you will now build integrity, okay? Walking for about 3 to 4 times a week is okay, and then you are happy that you're doing a great job. Another thing I need to add to that work, if you are the CEO in your office, meaning that you don't need to go before 8, it is advisable to have the road walk between 9 and 10:30 when you have the morning sun, so that as you are walking around, you are not only exercising, you are receiving vitamin D that will help in your bone strength, that will help in your bone integrity, and prevent osteoporosis, or help promote health that will prevent osteoporosis, especially in postmenopausal women that has risk of weakening or softening of the bone, okay? So that will help. But for people who are not CEOs, who are not the owners of their businesses, they are not able to take a walk between 9 and 10 because at that time they are already in the office. So they might have to walk earlier than that or late in the evening when they are closed from work. What am I saying? You must have a routine exercise plan as part of your life if you must stay healthy. 3, you must control your weight. We're talking about healthy living. You must control your weight. Obesity, a risk factor. I have a lecture on obesity on a separate discussion. If you have access to my video, you will enjoy it. You can subscribe. You can go check it up. Okay, better preventing disease. Go check it up. Everything there for obesity to learn. Okay, so prevent obesity. Manage every step. Taking to losing weight is a step in the right direction. Obesity must be controlled, okay? There are several help out there that will help you control your weight. If you don't know what to do, consult a doctor. They will guide you through, okay? Obesity, you must try to lose weight at each time. And something more you have to do aside watching your weight. If you have systemic disease, it must be well controlled. Are you hypertensive? Are you diabetic? Are you asthmatic? You must be sure that your comorbidity or clinical condition is well controlled. If it is well controlled, the complications can be prevented. And when you talk about complications of diseases, complications of hypertension, diabetes, epilepsy, asthma, or whatever it is, those complications are worse or progresses easily when the disease is poorly managed. So it is not a big deal to be hypertensive. 1 in every 3 Nigerians is said to be hypertensive, okay? While about 4.8 to 11% of Nigerians are diabetic. So meaning hypertension is more common. So what it is, it doesn't matter what the comorbidity is. I've always told you in my videos, it is not your fault, all right? And if it is your lifestyle that has predisposed you to such comorbidity, forgive yourself. Take responsibility that I control it well. Take your drugs seriously, take clinic follow-up seriously. Ensure it is controlled, okay? When it is controlled, the risk of complications are downplayed. So ensure you monitor your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your blood fat, monitor, control them, ensure they are well controlled. Take clinic follow-up seriously, take your drugs seriously, all right? Complications are better prevented because the outcome post-complication it's not promising. Okay, I have a video on post-stroke. Go and check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Manage your comorbidity appropriately. In staying healthy, what else do you have to do? Rest. Rest is very important. Body heals during rest. Okay, try as much as possible that you take a good sleep. Some people will say they are very hardworking. They will work 24 hours of the day. They will go to the office from morning till 6 o'clock. When they close, they get back home. Haven't had a bath. They go to the table all through till 1, 2. They will not have a good sleep. And by 5 o'clock, you are awake again and you think you're a martial man. One day you will pay the price because you can't cheat nature. Sleep and rest is important for humanity. It will help you heal. Okay, it will help your body rejuvenate. It will help your body restore whatever it has lost during the day. Okay, so you must ensure that you are resting at all time, having a good sleep. That's not to say that you will not work. You have 24 hours in a day, so save your 6 to 7 hours for a good sleep when you are not a child. But for children, they may need higher than 7, 8 hours for a good sleep, for brain development and growth. Another thing you have to ensure: prevent stress. Stress is the enemy of good health. Stress will predispose you to all the comorbidity I'll be talking about, especially hypertension. Stress will expose you to early aging. People will see you and think that you are older than your age. Everybody will begin to accord you respect, hoping or thinking that you are older than their mother. Meanwhile, you're just a young person that is so stressed. During stress, catecholamines are released. That's why people are at risk of hypertension when they have sustained or repeated stressful situation. So ensure that you manage stress. I have a video of stress too. Don't compete with anybody. Don't take anybody as your standard. It's the fastest way to be stressed when you compete with people. Live your life according to your own means. Okay, so people will say sew your coat according to your size. Most times it's the material that you have that can sew your coats. Okay, sew your coats according to the material that you have. If you cannot wear it, you can use it to cover the private part that will be exposed. Yes, on a lighter note, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that live by your own means. Live by what you can afford so that you will live a healthy, stress-free life. Stress is an enemy of man. All right, and try to be cheerful. Try to find time to unwind. Find time to have a good laughter, a good smile. Okay, look at, find time, good evening. Look at comedies, things that will make you laugh. All right, that will not corrupt your spiritual self. There are several things that will make you laugh and corrupt your soul because of what the component of it. Okay, look at those things that will make you have a good quality of laughter, because laughter heals. During laughter, endorphins are released. Endorphins are the feel-good chemicals that help you stay well. I have a video on that too. All right, so have a time for good laughter. Make peace. Don't keep grudges. Don't keep malice. Ensure that you are at peace with all men. All right, at peace with people, and then you live a beautiful life. And ensure that you're serving God too, because God is the author of peace. He giveth peace to all that seek Him. So in living healthy, you must avoid alcohol consumption. Don't abuse alcohol. It will put your liver at risk. It will put your heart at risk. There's alcoholic liver cirrhosis. There's alcohol-induced hepatitis. There's alcohol cardiomyopathy. There's alcohol cardiac issues. All right? So don't put yourself at that risk. Curtail your alcohol consumption. Some people are hiding under the fact that they said a little wine is good for the heart. They will say red wine is good for the heart. And people are drinking a crate of red wine. They will say a little wine. Who is telling you that your crate that you are taking is a little? It's just for your good, okay? Ensure that you cut down your alcohol consumption for your health, healthy living, okay? Ensure that you are not taking tobacco. It's not good for you. Nicotine is not good for you. It's not good for your lungs. It's putting you at risk of a lung cancer. It's putting you at risk of immunosuppression. It's putting you at risk of several other systemic diseases, okay? It will interfere with healthy living. Curtail and wean off tobacco smoking, and ensure you are not abusing drugs. There are several drugs that people are abusing this day. I saw a video on social media, and what was it that they were calling that? Kush. There are a lot of names, you can't believe it. A lot of cracks, names, street names that they are giving to a lot of things. I saw a young man eating his head on the wall. They said he took something somewhere in this town, hit the head so hard on the wall. I saw another tied himself to the electric pole. Another that was jumping uncontrollably. If they have not tied him, chained him, he would have broken his bones, he would have had fractures. Neighbors saw this person. Where many people that saw this young man, they had to tie this young man to a pole so that to prevent him from breaking his bones. Stop drug abuse. It will ruin you. I've never seen a successful drug abuser. From one crime to another, it will expose you to crime. One crime to another. And you will have no good meaning for your own life because the drug takes you away from reality. Vagabond, wayward people. All right? So try as much as possible not to find solace in drug abuse so that you can live a healthy life. So when it comes to emphasis on taking care of the heart, how do you take care of your heart? Routine exercise is another way to have cardio stability. It's another way to have healthy myocardium. Routine exercise will regulate your heart rate such that you don't pace even in stressful situation. You don't have to be having arrhythmias, having tachyarrhythmias when you are exposed to exercise, exposed to bad news, exposed to extremes of excitement, extremes of good news and all that. You don't have to have a cardiac arrest when you are watching football because you have a routine, regular exercise that have strengthened the myocardium, increased the sensor strength of your heart, you know, and stabilize your heart rate. The heart rate of an athlete, of a regularly exercising individual, is usually within 60, 70, at most 75. But for some people who do not have a regular exercise routine, will be above 80 to 90 and 95 sometimes, thereabout. Okay, so the lesser the heart rate, the better the myocardium, because it is when the heart is resting that the heart receives its own blood supply. So when the heart is rating or is beating too fast, meaning that it is not able to rest adequately, and when it does not rest adequately, it does not also have its blood supply, and it's from its blood supply it's able to get the food and oxygen that it eats also. Okay, so in taking care of the heart, you must have a routine exercise plan as already discussed. The diet that are in favor of the heart, you must reduce your salt intake. You do not need too much of salt to be able to stay healthy. And you must increase your potassium intake. What I mean potassium, food that is rich in potassium, because potassium is good for the heart. Banana, Irish potato, tomatoes, and lettuce, these are rich in potassium. Okay, for people who are diabetic, I don't advise them to use banana to achieve their potassium diet because it's sweet. But you can use Irish potato, you can use tomatoes to get your potassium. All right, calcium is also good. So how do you get calcium? From the bones, soft bones from fish, most times bones from meat. They call it biscuit bones. I don't know whether it's a general term for everybody. Soft bones that you can chew. You have calcium there. You have calcium in dairy products, in cheese, in milk. You have calcium, which you can enjoy too. All right. So for younger people, maybe you take the dairy products. But for people who are not young, it's better to get it from fish bones because fish is healthy for you. So another thing that is good for the heart in taking care of the heart is omega-3 and 6. How do you get this omega-3? It's rich in, you have plenty of omega-3 in fish meal, in fish food. So fish is good for you. Eat fish instead of red meat. Red meat will put you at risk of uric acid. Having excess uric acid can put you at risk of gouty arthritis. Okay, at that age, you know, when you are getting older, don't take much of red meat. You take fish, and that fish will help you. And it has been said that fish, for people who take fish 3 or more times a week, it will help them in lightening up the blood. It does for the blood what aspirin will do for the blood. It's like a blood thinner. So fish is very healthy. It's like antioxidant too. Okay, so fish is good for you instead of the red meat. In taking care of the heart, something you have to do again, it is good to have green veggies. Green veggies, you have them rich in iron that will help in adequate blood production, because oxygen carrying capacity is in the blood, so that you have healthy growth. Oxygen well carried because you have adequate PCV, good blood volume, healthy blood. Okay, green vegetables, very good for you. Hope you have learned something. Anything that is not here, I'm going to put them up as written words over this video, okay, to make it a total package for you. I'm always here so that you can learn. Take routine health evaluation seriously and prevent disease. Get information that will help you live healthy. Hope you learned something. Have a nice day. Bye.